Night in the city, night in the city. If you're a blacklisted director, then the best place to film your movie is probably London. Probably. I can't always not do a stupid song for these intros. I was okay with the Apples, which is still working on. Anyway. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer guy again with another Jules Dassin. It's Jules Dassin Day. We're doing all the Jules Dassin today. Number 274, Jules Dassin's Night in the City. Yeah, I just this is coming hot off the heels of our Thieves Highway, and when I finished Thieves Highway, I was like, I basically had nothing else to do today, so I thought, and I looked at how much time there was. Well, I looked at the time, and then I looked at I looked at who was in it, and I looked at that little thing. It's like Richard Widmark, and I was like, Gene Tierney, and so I popped the thing, and I was like, all right, I'm doing this. Let's go. Gene Tierney is one of my favorite actresses. Brother Josh did a whole album based on the movie Laura, and so we've become a bit obsessed with her work, or not obsessed, but like we admire her, and I think she's freaking gorgeous. And I know she had some issues, as an actress. I know this was like, I guess, at a point where she was feeling very suicidal about her career, and so it's just I love seeing her and stuff, because she's a very interesting actress. And yeah, so when I knew that, when I found, I think I looked up her filmography a while back, but I didn't, it totally slipped my mind that she was in a movie called Night in the City. So anyway, so when I saw I was in, I was like, let's watch. I gotta see this now. I'm intrigued. All right, 1950, 95 minutes, black and white, monorail, English, blah blah blah. So Richard Widmark, yeah, Richard Widmark's in it from Pick Up on South Street. I love that movie too, and so I was trying to remember which movie we'd seen. I had to look him up too, because I was like, Richard Widmark, and I remembered him. I couldn't remember which one it was, and it was Pick Up on South Street. So, all right, so let me tell you about Night in the City, because this one's another fantastic movie as well. Night in the City is about this guy, Harry Fabian, and he lives with his girlfriend or wife or whatever, Mary, and the two of them. And Harry is this schemer, trying to make a quick buck, but he gets into these schemes where he keeps asking Mary for money. Mary works at this nightclub, and she sings for all these. She sings as a singer, and sadly, I guess Gene Tierney could not sing, so her voice is dubbed over by someone else. So it's pretty obvious, And I'm looking at him like, God damn, because that would have been kind of cool if Gene Tierney could sing. Always just kind of curious about those things. I think everybody can sing, I always think that everybody can sing, it's just a matter of, just but some people just need more training than others, Some people it comes naturally, some people it doesn't, but I would have loved to have heard Gene Tierney sing. That's the moral of that little side note. Anyway, so Harry gets into this, goes to this wrestling match. And he meets this wrestler whose son, Christo, owns the whole wrestling circuit, is in charge of all the wrestling circuits in London. But his father is kind of fighting with him, and so he meets up with his father, and he wants to start his own company, because his father is one of the best wrestlers in the world. And so they strike a dealership or a deal together, and so they try to get together and form their own wrestling company. Christo's pissed, understandably, because somebody's messing in on his territory. They try to scare him out, but his father kind of shoos him away, and everything's cool and all, but Christo finds a way in. So basically it all kind of falls apart when Christo, well, just spoilers, they get this, they try to set up this wrestling match with this guy called the Strangler, the Strangler and, I forget, what is his name? Gregorius the Great, that's his name, Gregorius the Great. Gregorius and the Strangler wrestle, and Gregorius puts all his strength into trying to bear hug the Strangler to the point where he's exhausted, and Christo comes by his father's side and within a few minutes after this, large man, he falls out of exhaustion and dies. And Christo's upset, and so realizing that his whole plan fell apart, Harry runs. And so now Christo has a 1,000-pound ransom, 1,000-pound note on whoever kills Harry Fabian. And that's all I'll tell you about the movie. So I won't tell you about the ending. It's another great story. I think I liked Thieves Highway a little bit more, just because I think first of all I think I was kind of distracted by Gene Tierney. I think it's just probably just because I think her performance in this one, compared to something like Laura or Heaven Can Wait or The Razor's Edge. Well, no, wait, not Heaven Can Wait. Not All That Heaven Allows. They're both two Criterion movies that. Wait, I'm gonna find the name of this movie because I'm like, now it's bugging me. It's bugging me. The name of this movie. There's a movie that she did. Leave Her to Heaven. That's it. Leave Her to Heaven. That was a movie that Gene Tierney did, where she plays like this villainous wife, or sort of like this very selfish wife. And so that's another movie that she did. And I guess I was kind of distracted by how good she was in those movies. That, like, I think this might have been her first movie in the 50s. And the whole suicidal thing, or her career feeling like she was falling apart. I guess maybe she was going through some stuff. And so maybe her performance wasn't the greatest it was, but it's still great to see her. She's still a fantastic actress, even if she couldn't sing. But at the same time, it was just like wanting her. Like I said, distraction for her. But also distracted from Richard Widmark and thinking about him. I guess I tried to compare it too much to their previous movies, like, wait a minute, what am I saying? I think I'm totally wrong. Pick Up on South Street was after Night in the City. But still, I still compared it to Night in the City. I still compared it to that one because I saw it, and I thought, oh yeah, I loved him in this one. What happened in this one? And I don't know, maybe that was just miscasting. And I don't know, maybe it's just I came into this movie at the wrong place, wrong time, or whatever, Maybe they should have put Night in the City in before Pick Up on South Street. I don't know. Would that have changed my opinion? I don't know. I think the story of Pick Up on South Street maybe just is a little bit stronger than Night in the City. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just toying around with those thoughts. And yeah, so anyway, that's it for me. We'll leave it at that. Another great movie by Dasein. And the last one we'll see for until late next season. We got two more in the Criterion Collection: The Naked City and Brute Force. And then that's it. I know we did more, but Criterion haven't gotten around to get them in, but maybe someday. So yeah, so Night in the City, great movie, and I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I think, and I need to see Rafifi again because I want to compare the three. I think this is probably my least. I don't know. Rafifi. I don't know. Rafifi. I don't know. I don't know. I need to see Rafifi again before I can compare Dasein's movies. But comparing these two, I think I like Thieves Highway just a little bit more, just for the story wise. Richard Conte's a great actor, but yeah, I think the star power is better in this, or stronger in this one. But story wise and just overall, the overall story is just greater in Thieves Highway. And yeah, and I think, a lot of it, I think also some of it might have had to do with the fact that, he was on the blacklist by this point. That's why he was filming in London, or I think maybe he got on the blacklist during London. I can't remember how he got on the blacklist and all that. But yeah, so this just wasn't as strong as Thieves Highway, but it was still a really great movie, and I just like I want to get it. And it's funny because I tried to get this just got reissued last year. There's a new cover, Blu-ray, and a couple new supplements, but I wasn't able to get it, so for now we just got this. if I find the new, there's like a new interview with I think with one of the script writer or something. I know one of the new supplements they have is the complete British version. Because there were two versions of this movie. The British version actually is longer, has a couple of scenes that were deleted, some alternate scenes that sets up the characters of Harry and Mary. They rhyme. It sets up their characters. They talk a little more. At the beginning of the movie, you see Harry. Like he breaks into his, or he doesn't break. He gets into his apartment and he starts rummaging through Mary's dress, or I mean not dress, her purse. Because he's looking for money, and Mary enters the room through the other room. Whereas the other one, she's already outside, she's already in the room, and they talk about stuff, and they kind of set each other up, and they set up, speech, you set up each other's characters, a little more than just, Harry trying to steal from his wife, And yeah, so basically that's the difference. And then the ending's a little different. It's a little more, I guess they romanticize the ending just a little bit more. I'm not going to say how, because that'd be spoiling. But yeah, so basically there's two versions, and the more complete British version is on the Blu-ray or the new Criterion edition issued last year. However, I guess Dasein always preferred the American version, and understandably, yeah, I think this is probably a better movie, although it's very dark. But I still like it. So anyway, but the supplements that are on here and on both versions, there's an 18-minute interview with Jules Dassin talking about not Pick Up on South Street, Night in the City. And there's also a French interview from 1972 with Dassin. He basically talking about the blacklist and working with the French people on movies like Rafifi. And he also mentioned Steve's Highway and Night in the City. And there's also almost a 23-minute comparison of the two movies, mostly because they both had two different scores too, and the scores, I guess, the scores definitely do change the mood of each movie. The British score is very much a lot lighter. Like from the first scene you see Harry running from this guy who he owes money for, I guess. And you get this little narration where this guy says, "Night in the City." Something like, "Night in the City. The night is any night. The city is London." And then, and that's basically the American score. You see Richard Widmark running, Harry's running out down across paths and all that. And you just smack dab into it just smacks you right into the drama and all that. But the British one, which because it's a new score, they had to get a British actor to overdub the audio. It says "Night in the City." The city is London, and then it's a lot lighter. It reminds me of like organ music or something from like those old suspense movies or silent films or something like that. But it's all like flutes and strings and stuff like that. It's not as bombastic. But yeah, so basically that's all I could say about it. It's pretty interesting. But in my opinion, if you want the real thing, get the Blu-ray and watch both movies yourself. I think that probably says more than this guy ever could. And the trailer, fantastic trailer and all that stuff. So anyway, Night in the City, another great movie from Dasein. Can't wait to see Naked City and Brute Force, but that's not for another year. So anyway, hey, yeah, and that's it for today. We're a mother movie ahead. So guess Wednesday we'll do. I think I think we're gonna go ahead and try to get started on the rewatches next week. We may do one or two. We might not do a whole week of rewatching. Maybe just one, because if I remember correctly, well, next week is, let's see, well, this week we've got, Wednesday we got Tout Va Bien, which I thought about go ahead and doing as well today, just marathoning a whole bunch of Criterion movies, but it's Godard. I can wait on Godard. So yeah, so Wednesday we got Tout Va Bien. Thursday we got The River, and then Saturday I guess we'll do My Own Private Idaho. And then next week we'll have Monday we'll have Eclipse. Young Torless, Sword of Doom next Wednesday. No, Young Torless next Wednesday, Sword of Doom on next Thursday, and then next Saturday, what was it? Jules and Jim, Truffaut, and then I think we may either start the Andres Warda 3 war films or the 3 films, the Generation, Blood and Diamonds, or whatever, Ashes and Diamonds, the Generation, and the other one. We'll either start those that week, or we'll do The Lady Vanishes on Monday, and then we'll do the other 3 on the other days. And who knows, if there's a lack of supplements and they're short movies, I think they're pretty short movies, so if there's a lack of supplements, maybe we'll do more than one. I'm just kind of, digging some of these movies. I think we're finally hitting the stride. I think, let me try to remember. I can't remember the last really bad movie. I think the last bad movie we had to watch was Fat Girl. But, obviously that's because it's Fat Girl, I mean, that movie sucks. But anyway, so I'm just curious, what was the last bad movie I mean, Cast Aura wasn't too crazy about, but it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, well, Shortcuts. Oh god, Shortcuts. Oh shut. Julianne Moore's yeah. Okay. But that's the thing. It's not a bad movie. And I kept thinking about that movie today for some reason. Because it's not a bad. I wanted to get this one. I just so I could read I guess because the thing comes with the book with all the stories that the characters are based on, and I want it just for that. But I don't want to see that. No. Maybe I will get it again and just never watch that chapter again. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm done for today. So yeah, so Wednesday we got Tout Va Bien. Thursday The River. Saturday. Jules and Jim. No, My Own Private Idaho. Although time permitting, if we have time permitting, maybe we'll do 2. And just so we can get a kick on these rewatchings, because I'm kind of excited to rewatch these old ones. Just watch the old movies again and see what they're all about, and try to give a better review. And some of them just rewatching and just maybe just reviewing them just because. So yeah, so like I said, Lady Vanishes. I think I'm going to do Hard Boiled again, because I want to do that one again. Seventh Seal, another one I guess I really have to do again is Andrei Rublev, because I just got a really, really hurtful comment from somebody on that thing, saying, that it was just a worthless, pretentious piece of shit or something. And I'm like, well, no. I may be ignorant, I'm not pretentious or whatever, I don't deny my ignorance, but I think I've gotten better. So I'd like to maybe try this movie again. It's a long ass Russian movie. That's all I remember. So yeah. So anyway, so we'll get to those ones sometime soon, and yeah. So and hopefully we'll be a little bit wiser, a little bit stronger, a little bit all that good stuff. Anyway, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't get mixed up with gangsters, because you'll die. And all that good stuff. So yeah, so anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. And we will see you on Wednesday for Tout Va Bien. And maybe The River too. Who knows? And until then, goodbye.